When you create a new course or event or service in Cademy, you'll first be prompted to choose the format. The first option at the top is quite self-explanatory: on set dates. That simply means that you plug in dates in the calendar and people see those dates and are able to book them. And that's the default for how most events, courses, webinars work. People see the dates up front and they book them as they come. But the second option is for situations where customers don't see the dates up front, but they inquire and they arrange a date with the educator kind of more directly based on each other's availability. So this is great for one-to-one tuition, corporate training, personalized coaching, stuff like that. Now, with on-request services in Cademy, you'll have a very flexible setup to be able to support all of these types of services. So if I choose on request, I'll just go through the setup here. I'll say example 1-to-1 coaching with Adrian. And you add in your description and image and all the other stuff, which is pretty standard for all the course types in Cademy. The interesting part is in step number 2, which is under pricing and delivery. And this is where you can configure the bulk of the interesting details around your course or around your service here. You can choose the pricing. We could set up as free, price on inquiry, which means the customer doesn't see the price at all, and show the customer a price range. You can put in, let's say, £100 to £200, and then it gives the customer a general idea, although they don't see a specific price. And lastly, you can actually set up a specific price. Let's say it's £100 to do this session, right? And the customer sees it and they're able to pay to book you. Now, when in the second part here, you can set the duration of this service in minutes by default. But you can also add multiple durations and allow the customer to choose which one they want. So I can say maybe I want to offer a 2-hour session, double the session time, double your time with me for half the price. And I can actually charge extra for this option. This is optional. You don't have to set it up by default. Majority of the courses actually have just one duration on them. The delivery section allows you to specify how this on request session can be delivered. You can allow it to be online, and you can even link it to a specific Zoom account. So I already installed my Zoom app and linked it to Cademy. There's a separate video that covers that. And I will choose it in here because I want, at the point when somebody books a slot with me, books a session with me, for the Zoom meeting to automatically be created and for that to be added into the calendar. And I want all of that to be happening automatically without me having to do anything. So I'll choose to set this up, and I recommend you do that as well. I can also allow for in-person bookings, and I can customize the travel options. Whether I want the customer to be coming to me, and I can choose which address I want them to come to, or whether I want to allow the requests where I will be traveling to the customer, and I can restrict it whether I want it UK-wide or in specific cities. Next step is the booking flow and calendar availability. This is where it actually gets interesting. So by default, customers can request any date in the calendar, and then we can go back and forth to see if that suits. And if it does, you can confirm it and send a payment request after that. But you can also streamline that process and allow people to see your availability based on your calendars. There's a separate video that covers how you set up or link your Google and Outlook calendars with Cademy. You do it through the apps section, and there's a calendar sync app that allows you to do that. Please give that a quick look. So in the apps section, you'll see the calendar sync app, and you'll be able to set up your calendars in here, and you'll be able to choose those calendars when you set up your availability for on-request courses. So now I'm prompted to choose a calendar to limit the availability by. What that means is that I can choose one or many calendars in here, and the customer will only be able to book slots with me when there's availability, where there's nothing booked for those slots in any of these calendars. Okay. You can also control some general availability settings under these options. So if you want to, let's say, limit availability on Thursdays and allow it on other dates, you can do that very easily through here. Let's say I want to allow Saturdays up to 9 p.m. This is how you normally do it. So these are general overarching rules. Regardless of whether you're available or not in the calendar, you can control it through these options here. And lastly, for any new events that are getting created, which means that whenever somebody books, a new calendar event gets created, you want to choose a calendar that you want to use as the default owner of the event, and 9 times out of 10 it will be the same calendar that you'll be using for your availability here. So that's pretty straightforward. Once you're done and you publish, you'll see the people that are requesting or booking with you in the admin dashboard in here. But let's see what that looks like for the customer during the booking flow. So on my course page here, I can see the general highlights for how this course can be delivered, how long it lasts, and so on, the travel options. And when I go to book, you'll see that I have the option to choose whether I want to do it online, in person, and whether I want to travel or to host the educator. Now, these are all the options that we've configured earlier, and they're all kind of showing up here, including the duration, and it's all pretty self-explanatory. If I was to choose the 2-hour duration, I'd be prompted to pay a bit extra, just as we've configured it. So next bit is where it's actually getting interesting. This is where the customer gets prompted to choose a slot, and if I choose tomorrow, which in my case it's Saturday the 30th, if I go in my Google Calendar, you can see that I already have a few events that have been added to my calendar. So the slots that are shown to the customer are reflective of that, and they can only book slots that are not currently taken in my calendar. So if I just say example message, continue, I can fill out my contact information, continue, I can complete payment using my payment method of choice, and enter my my billing information, and there you go. Now I've paid for the booking. This will automatically be sending a confirmation email just now. It will send a calendar invite as well, and it has created the session in my calendar in here as well, as you can see. So for me as the organizer, it means that I can get notified of any time someone books. You can see that the customer has chosen to do it online, and we've taken care of creating the Zoom meeting as well. Everything is showing directly in my calendar, and I can just come in here and do my session directly out of my calendar, right? You'll see these bookings in your admin dashboard as well. So if I go back and refresh from the course page, these bookings will always be listed under each event directly in Cademy. We hope you'll enjoy this course format. If you have questions or if you have feedback, please don't hesitate to get in touch.